Welcome to today's yoga practice. So I've come to the studio to do this one and it's absolutely freezing, so we're not going to be sitting still for very long, but just come through to a kneeling position. This is probably going to be quite a strong practice, so it won't be suitable for complete beginners. If you're kind of mixed ability, do what you can, do what feels comfortable. If something doesn't feel right for you, or you feel that it's a little beyond the capabilities of where you are at the moment, then feel free to just leave it out. Sort of no forcing anything, just take it nice and easy. And of course, as always, rest if you need to, don't ever work into pain. Okay, so come through to kneeling, if that's comfortable. If not, any comfortable seated position. Just let the shoulders drop down your back. Lengthen the spine, reach up through the crown of the head. Just sitting nice and tall, just closing the eyes. And just taking a few moments to link into your breath. And if you like to work with a breath with sound, you can start to constrict the base of the throat. You start to create a sound a little like the distant ocean. Otherwise, just stay with your natural breath. Just feel the weight of your body on your mat. Feel the tension or lack of in your muscles. Just notice how you feel. Just take 2 more breaths here. Okay, use your next exhale. Take your chin down towards your chest. Gently float open the eyes and raise the gaze. Okay, so we're going to move on to all fours. So just to let you know that this is just kind of my practice today. This journey has no particular destination. I don't know where we're going to go with this. I just kind of work with how my body feels today. And do what feels appropriate and advise you to do the same. So coming on to all fours, we're just going to start to circle through the hips and through the shoulders, and you might just start to find some movement through your head as you work. And we'll take this circling movement in both directions. And then bring yourself back through to centre and turn your hands so your fingers face towards the wrong edge of your mat. And then again, it might be smaller circles, but we'll still start to find a little bit of circling movement. And as you work, starting to think about engaging through the lower abdomen and just a gentle engagement up through the pelvic floor. And again, we can take this in both directions. Okay, bring it back through to centre, and then if it's comfortable for you, turn your fingers to face your knees. If that doesn't work, just keep your hands out to the sides. And then we'll tuck the toes underneath here as well, and just a very little backwards and forwards movement. Just keep the heels of the hands down on the mat and just move mindfully. And then come forwards again, just shake out the hands one at a time. Keep the toes tucked under, walk your hands in towards your knees and come up through to a high kneeling position. Just if there's any little escapees there, just tucking them in. Again, you might close your eyes here, take the awareness to the breath. If this starts to feel too strong, you can either just come out, or you can take your hands down onto the mat, which will just take some of the weight out of your toes. And then we'll bring the hands, if you've not got them on the mat, to the shoulders. And we're just going to start to circle the elbows. Nice big circles. Again, we'll take it both ways, just finding some mobility through the shoulders. And then releasing the hands, walking the hands back out in front of you, untucking the toes, patting the tops of your feet there on your mat. And then we'll tuck the toes again and lift the hips up and back, downwards facing dog. Now just do whatever you need to do here. So it's first thing in the morning I'm filming this, and it's cold in the studio, so my body's not going to be too flexible to begin. So nice and slowly, I'm going to start to stretch it out. If you're doing this in the evening or in a nice warm environment, you might find that that's different for you. You might give them a head a little bit of shape, yes and no, while you're here. Couple more breaths here in your downwards facing. And then as you inhale, ripple the spine forwards through to plank. Press the ground away from you. Tuck the tailbone underneath, so rather than having the bum lifted, tailbone is tucked. You'll hold this plank pose for a couple of breaths. Again, just check in with that toning of the pelvic floor and lower abdomen. And then we're going to lower all the way to the floor. Feel free to drop the knees down if that works better for you. Just roll forward slightly first, bend the elbows. Gently come all the way down. Hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, come up for cobra. So just feeling into your body, noticing how it feels today. Use your next exhale to come back down. We'll go up again. Inhale to find the lip. Just come up to your own degree, shoulders nice and soft. Exhale, we'll bring it down again. Tuck the toes underneath, press up through to plank. Find your way back into your downward facing dog. Walk your hands in towards your feet on your next inhale. I always like to come here at the start of my practice. Personally, my hamstrings are really quite tight, so it's a nice place to come just to let everything start to open up. So again, if you want to, you can bend the knees, that's absolutely fine. You might find a little bit of movement backwards and forwards, or perhaps swaying it out from side to side. And then release your hands down onto the mat. Walk your hands over to the right. So you're keeping both legs grounded. You can bend your right knee if you wish, and then just reach out through the left fingers. So just lengthening through the left side body. Use your next inhale, walk it back through to centre, and then hands over to the left. You've got the option to bend the left knee, so see how that feels. Reach out through the right fingers. Use your next inhale, walk it back through to centre, and then nice and slowly. If it's okay for you to come up with a rounded spine, you're going to bend the knees and gently round the spine up through to standing. If you have any herniated discs, bend the knees, take the hands to the waist and come up with a flat back. So you come up through to standing, perfect. And then come through to the front edge of your mat. Have your feet slightly apart, and then just start to swing the arms from side to side. So just starting to bring some rotation into the spine. You might bend the knees here as you do. We'll slow it down, make the movement smaller as you come back through to centre. And then grounding into the feet, inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, the flat back will fold forwards. Inhale, look up, find your halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step or jump back into plank. From there, you can lower to the floor or you can lower down to chaturanga. Inhale through cobra or upwards facing dog. And then exhale, hips up and back, downwards facing dog. Couple of breaths. So lengthening the hips up and back behind you. Remembering this isn't a back bend, you're not collapsing the chest down towards the mat, so just keep engaged through the front of the body. And then we'll soften the knees, look forwards. As you inhale, step or jump the feet forward between the hands. Find your halfway lift. Exhale, fold in, head to legs. Inhale, we'll come all the way through to upright. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's carry on. Inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale to look up. Exhale, hands down, step or jump back. So we're lowering down. Inhale through your back bend. Exhale. Downwards facing dog. Connecting to breath. And then as you inhale, float the right leg up behind you. Let's take the foot as high up as you can, so you're opening up through the hips. And then use your next exhale to round the spine. Try and touch your knee through to your nose. Inhale, extend the right leg out behind you. And then exhale into right elbow. Inhale, extend the leg out behind you. Exhale, knee over to left elbow. And then extend your right leg out and take your left arm up for fallen triangle. Just a breath. Bring your left hand back down, step back through to plank, chaturanga, upwards facing dog, downwards facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up. Have a breath or two there. Reach up through the left toes, open up the left hip. And then round the spine, bring your knee through, try and touch your nose. Inhale, left leg up behind you. Exhale, knee over to left elbow. Inhale, take the leg up behind you. Exhale, knee over to right elbow. And then we'll extend the left leg. Right arm reaches up, fallen triangle. Roll the shoulders away from the ears, extend out through the crown of the head. And then we'll bring the right hand down, step back through to plank, and the elbows, chaturanga. Upwards facing. Maybe linger a moment in your back bend. Hips up and back, downwards facing. Use your next inhale to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Take the right arm up towards the ceiling. So from here, we're going to roll onto the little toe side of both feet and extend the right arm out behind us. Left hip draws down towards the mat, one more breath. Let's bring the right hand back down, step back through to plank. Let's bring the left foot to the outside of the left hand, left arm up towards the ceiling. Sense the hips are drawing down, so they're not lifted. And then we're going to roll onto the little toe side of both feet and extend the left arm out behind you. Bring the left exhale back down to the mat. We'll step back into plank pose. You can move through a vinyasa or you can go straight to down dog. Always remembering vinyasas are always optional. And if you do have shoulder issues, you probably don't want to be working constantly in chaturanga. So we're going to come through to Utkatasana, our chair pose at the front edge of our mat. So soften the knees, look forwards. Inhale, step, jump, float the feet forward. Halfway lift there. Exhale, fold in. Just take a moment in that forward bend. Tip a little bit of weight into the front of the feet. And let's bend the knees. Reach the arms up. Utkatasana. Now we'll add in some movement. Inhale, balls of the feet. Exhale, bring the heels back down. Inhale, balls of the feet. Exhale, heels back down. One more. Inhale, balls of the feet. Exhale, heels back down. And then we're going to fold forwards again, it's that forward bend. So inhale, straighten the legs, flat back to fold forwards. Now if you can comfortably reach, we're going to take the hands underneath the feet. So you can bend the knees if you need to. If that's just too far away for you, hold on to your shins instead. Lengthen the spine on your inhale as you exhale, folding. Couple more breaths. Each exhale, crown of the head reaches down. And then as you inhale, find your halfway lift. Release the hands out. So feet are still hip width apart. Bring the hands to the waist. And then inhale, come all the way through to upright. So step the feet now together. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, sink down again for your Utkatasana. Feet together. Hands through to the heart center. We'll find a twist. Left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. So take the gaze down. Take your weight into your right foot and step the left foot back behind you into a lunge. Now if you need to, you can always drop your left knee down onto the mat. If it feels okay, you can keep it lifted. So you could just stay here with the hands at the heart. If you know you can bind, you can wrap your left arm underneath your right thigh and find a bind. Take one more breath. Use your next inhale, come back through to centre. Try and keep your balance as you do it. I'm all over the place. And you come up into your high lunge. Couple of breaths. See if you can take the arms a little further back. Find lift up through the heart. Keep the bend in the right knee. And we're going to open up to the left into Virabhadrasana 2. So if you need to adjust your feet, do. Soften through the shoulders. Take this into Parsvakonasana. So you can take your right forearm to your thigh, or your hand to the floor, whichever version suits you best. Spin the chest open. Okay, use your next inhale, come back up through Virabhadrasana 2, and then find reverse warrior. So left hand to left thigh, right arm reaches up. And then use your next inhale, straighten the right leg. So you've got reverse Trikonasana. We'll bend the right knee again. Pivot the hands down either side of the right foot. Step it back, one-legged plank. You can put a push-up in here if you wish. And then we'll move through a vinyasa. Again, you can just go straight to down dog if you wish. Connecting to breath. Softening the knees, look forwards, step, jump, float the feet forward as you inhale. Bring the feet together for this one. Halfway lift, exhale to fold in. Couple of breaths of this forward bend. And then we'll come up into Utkatasana again. So bend the knees, sweep the arms up, jump pose. Hands through to the heart centre, this time right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Take the weight into the left foot, step the right foot back behind you. So option one is you stay there. Option two, you put your right knee down onto the mat and work there. And again, those that want to take it further, you can thread your right arm through underneath your left thigh and find it behind. One more breath. Release the hands. Let's bring it back up into your high lunge. And take the arms back. Lift up through the heart. See how much of a back bend you can find here. If you're wobbly, taking the gaze up, you can still keep looking forwards or down. And we're going to open up to your right. Virabhadrasana 2. Ground through the legs. I think strong legs, stability. Moving through into Parsvakonasana, so either left forearm to the thigh or the hand through to the floor. Reach out through the right fingers. Open through the right shoulder. So lengthen the whole right side of the body. Use your next inhale. Come back through to upright. Drop your right hand to your right thigh. Left arm lifts up along the side of the ear. Just for the first breath or two, keep the bend in the left knee. And then we'll straighten the left leg for your reverse trikonasana. The bend back in the left knee, come back through Warrior 2. We'll pivot the hands to frame the left foot, step it back into one-legged plank. You can put in a push-up here if you wish. And then you can move through a one-legged Vinyasa or straight to downwards facing dog. Connect to breath. And then use your next inhale, ripple the spine forwards through to plank. So you can, if you wish, drop your knees down onto the mat for this next bit. We're going to hold Chaturanga for 3 breaths. So remembering through Chaturanga, you don't want to drop the the shoulders down below the level of the elbow. So try and stay quite lifted in your Chaturanga. So rolling forwards, bending the elbows. 1, 2, keep breathing. 3, inhale through your back bend. Exhale, downwards facing dog. Connect to your breath. On your next inhale, step your right foot through between your hands. Try to do it nice and slowly with control rather than throwing it through. And then walk to face the long edge, or just walk your hands around to face the long edge of your mat. Turn your left toes out and come over into Skandasana on the left side. Now, if you need your hands down for balance, you can take your hands down and balance yourself. If you're comfortable without the hands down, then you can bring the hands to prayer. We're going to take this over to the side again. If you want the support of your hands, drop them down. Otherwise, if you can, keep the hips lifted, move over to your right. Back over to the left. Back over to the right. And then we'll come back through to centre, so hands down. Turn your feet so that they're parallel, and then find your way into your forward bend. Now, you can work on the hamstrings here in a forward bend, or you can take your head to the floor, you have to move back a little bit, and find your way into a tripod headstand. Gently come out of your headstand if you're in it. Try talking while you're doing that, that's not easy. And then walk your hands back to face the front edge of your mat. Step it back. Moving through your vinyasa or straight to downwards facing dog. One more breath here in your downwards facing. And then bend the knees, step, jump, float the feet forward between the hands. Halfway lift there. Exhale, fold in. Enjoy that forward bend, one more breath. And then inhale, come all the way through to upright. Exhale, hands through to heart. Okay. I'm going to come into an arm balance. This is the Ekapada Galavasana. So hands through to the heart center. We're going to bring the right foot onto the left thigh. Now your option one is you just stay there. Option two, if it's comfortable, you start to bend your left knee. And you could stay there, maybe take the arms up alongside the ears. Option three is you come all the way down, so hands come to the floor, so you come down into the squat. So I'm going to take my hands to the floor and take my right leg onto my upper arm. So my lower leg onto the upper arm. So I'm going to grip onto my upper left arm with the right toes and see if I can lift my left foot away from the mat. Couple of breaths. Left foot back down. Use your inhale to bring yourself back up. And then release your right foot back down onto the mat. Other side. Shoulders soft. Inhale, left leg lift. You can stay there, you can just gently bend the right knee, reach the arms up alongside the ears. Or as you exhale, you can come all the way down. So again, hands to the floor, you can just stay here. So I'm going to wrap my left toes around my upper right arm, tip the weight forwards, chaturanga arms, and just see if I can lift the right foot away from the mat. Right foot comes back down, inhale, come back through up into your balance, and then gently take the left foot back down onto your mat. Perfect. Feet together at the front edge of your mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Step or jump back into plank. Roll the shoulders away from the ears, engage through the core, and then side plank. Right hand to the centre of your mat, roll onto the little toe side of your right foot. So to ease this, you drop your right knee down onto the mat, make it look a little more manageable. If you want to add on, bend your left knee, hook your fingers around the big toe of the left foot, and extend the left leg. One more breath. Release the left leg down. Come back through to plank. Other side. Little toe side of the left foot. Right arm reaches up. Again, if you want to, just drop your left knee down onto your mat. The option is there to hook the big toes of the right foot with the first two fingers of the right hand. One more breath. Right foot comes down. Come back through to plank. And we're going to lower nice and slowly with control all the way down into our mats. Hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, find your back bend. So you might feel you're a bit warmer now. You can come in a little bit deeper. Keep the shoulders soft and down. Exhale, gently take your body back down to the floor. Let's just rest the head on the back of the hands. Turn your head to one side. Oh, nice big yawn for me. Not quite time for Shavasana, we're not far off. Stay into your breath. Use your next inhale, head back through to centre. If you want to repeat your cobra, your up dog, you can. If you want to add on, take a hold of the ankles. Try and keep the feet no more than shoulder width apart. And then as you inhale, start to lift up for Dhanurasana. So reach up through the crown of the head, draw the heart forwards. Couple more breaths. And then exhale, release it back down. Head to the other side. Maybe just a little bit of side to side movement through the hips. We'll go one more time with that. So this time we're going to hold the insides of the feet, or the insides of the ankles of the hands. So use your next inhale, lift up. Each inhale, you're looking for lift. One more breath. Exhale, release it back down. Head back to the first side. Again, maybe a little bit of side to side movement through the hips. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale to come up, and as you exhale, find your way back into your child's pose. One more breath here in child. And then as you inhale, come up onto your hands, tuck your toes, find your downwards facing dog. And we're going to come through to seated. So bending the knees, look forwards, engage through the core, little lift of the hips, and nice and gently bring yourself through to a seated position. So when I practice, one of the poses I come to most days is Agni Stambhasana or fire log. So a slightly less intense version is to have your right shin stacked on the outside of your left shin. Don't have the heels too close in towards you, have them a little bit further away. You can sit on a block if you wish, and then as you exhale, you fold forwards there. And you may well find that's enough. If that's comfortable for you, and you want to add on, we'll stack the right shin on top of the left. Some people will find that flexing their feet in this position is better for them, feels better, so that if that's you, then flex your feet. Lengthen the spine as you inhale, and as you exhale, fold forwards. So another name for this pose is ankle to knee. So you don't want ankle to shin. Have your right knee on top of your left foot, your right foot or ankle on top of your left knee. Try and keep the back flat as you fold forwards, the chest open. Couple more breaths. Use your next inhale, come back through to upright. Bring the hands to your heart centre. Lengthen as you inhale. As you exhale, we're going to twist to the left. I'm going to take my right elbow to the outside to the sole of my right foot. So it depends kind of where you are, but you're just twisting to your left. Keep your spine nice and long. So you could just have your right hand down on your left thigh, your left hand behind you and come there. So your version of twist. One more breath. Use your next inhale. Come back through to centre on a lengthened spine. We're going to swap over the legs. So you've either got your left leg in front or your left leg on top. Again, just make sure you set the pose up correctly. Lengthen the spine as you inhale, as you exhale, fold forwards. Svadhyaya is self-study. So just noticing your reactions. How do you feel in this pose? What effect does it have on you mentally or emotionally? Are you thinking positively or are you thinking negatively? Just paying attention to what's happening. Couple more breaths. And then use your next inhale. Walk your hands back in towards you, come back through to upright. So we're going to find that twist. So you've either got left hand on your right leg, right hand behind you, or if you're in Agni Stambhasana, maybe the left elbow to the sole of the left foot. Each inhale lengthens the spine. One more breath. And then use your next inhale. Keep the spine long as you come back through to centre. And then just relax out the legs, maybe just give them a little bit of a wobble. And it's time for your relaxation. So just lie yourself back down on your mat. If you want to mute your lights or to put some soft music on, switch me off now, put some nice soft music on, that would be a really good way of doing it. It's really important you do take this pose, so make sure you find at least a couple of minutes to come through into your Shavasana. So lie yourself back down. Let your shoulders drop down towards the earth. Let your feet just flop to the sides. Relax your muscles. And start to slow down the breath. And this is where I'll leave you. Stay here for as long as you need to. See you next time. Namaste.